What is up? What is up? What is up? How's everybody doing today? I hope you guys enjoyed your 3 day weekend. For those of you who did have a 3 day weekend, that's awesome. Other than that, didn't forget why we were celebrating Memorial Day, even though I sent, who's now my cousin, has been my best friend most of my life. I definitely worded it wrong. Instead of saying thank you for your service, for your sacrifice, it's actually a memoriam if I remember. Well, I do remember, but the way I worded it was wrong. And he politely corrected me and was like, thank you for keeping me in mind because anybody who does such a sacrifice for our country, it's just amazing. Hope you guys had a chance to watch the video that I uploaded yesterday about one of the most unbelievable stories. I can't believe if they have made a movie of it. I don't know of it, but I mean, this story is unbelievable. And if you haven't had a chance to watch it, for those of you guys who come to this page, whether or not you're subscribed or not, give it a look because it is one of the craziest stories. You could watch it from Mr. Ballin to, I mean, there are a lot of very popular channels who have millions of subscribers that have covered this story, and it just sounds like the most unbelievable story, video game like story that you could ever come across. And it's absolutely 100% true. I don't know why it took so long for him to get his Medal of Honor, but wow, just unbelievable. And then I remember, well, I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything, but it just, yeah, it's such an unbelievable story and such a very, how somebody could be so selfless and wanting to go in and save the lives of so many people with little regard for their own life. I mean, that's exactly what the military has always trained. And it's unbelievable to me. It really is. But I'm going on to something a little bit of a lighter note. I found this extremely hilarious. And this is going to be about Marvel movies. And to be more specific, Avengers Endgame. Now, when I watch these movies, I get so sucked into everything that's going on. Whenever, I call my mom or she calls me, I'm like, hey, let's check out this movie. And she's like, that again. She loved The Hangover. She thought that was freaking hilarious. She was like 50-50 on This Is the End. She likes a lot of funny comedy movies. And I'm like, come on, let's watch Spider-Man No Way Home. And when I'm showing it to her, she fell asleep. I'm like, really? I'm like, this movie, like, a lot of people loved it. So I dare not put on, like, Infinity War if we ever get together and watch a movie again. Like, she would be like, no, this is just too much. For people like us, we get sucked into this action. We're like, oh, this is so cool, this and that. Thrown out the window, the thoughts. So here's two questions. Not even questions, but two things that I always had on my mind. When the Hulk snapped, that brought back everybody, right? I mean, I know he was trying to bring back, you know, the love interest from prior movies, but that brought back everybody because you hear Ant-Man, Paul Rudd. I think it worked, guys. And then Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, receives, a call from his wife, and that's a touching moment. And then, Thanos bursts through and everything and trying to get, the gauntlet again. And this time he just is going to shred every ounce of the universe. But at that point, it worked, right? Because then when it goes on to other films, it talks strictly about how Iron Man, Tony Stark, is the one who saved everybody. Okay, that one I recognize right off the bat. But I never once considered this. And I don't know if this is going to get copyrighted right away. But these guys did a phenomenal job at explaining something that I never even thought of because I was so enamored with all the action. Of course, I was like a lot of people, like, yes, I understand the Hulk got hurt, but I mean, like, he was absent during that whole scene. But, I thought he snapped everybody back into existence unless there was a plot hole in which there was bad writing where they could have said, okay, it partially worked, but your thoughts or your, whatever you were thinking, it wasn't completely selfless. Which always goes on to piss me off because I'm not even going to get into that one yet. You guys could ask me what pisses me off if you ever decide to comment. But this was a great example of how you get sucked into so much action, but yet overlook so many plot holes. So I hope you enjoy this, because this was rather entertaining. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Peter Parker.
Hey, Peter Parker. Got something for me?
Here, take this. We need to get this Infinity Gauntlet into that van over there to send it back in time so Thanos can't destroy the universe.
Okay, that's definitely a plan. Or I could just...
What just happened?
I won?
How?
The same way Thanos did. I wished it, I snapped my fingers. It was surprisingly easy.
But how are you not dead? I thought the Infinity Gauntlet was so powerful, only the strongest beings in the universe could wield it without dying.
I'm sorry, but did you not just see me torpedo myself through Thanos' ship like it was wet tissue paper?
Yeah.
And given the fact that Thanos was able to pull off the snap with a giant gaping axe wound in his chest and still managed to live to f*** off to Space Farmville, I felt pretty good about my odds of survival. I mean, I do have a hell of a dead arm, but given the circumstances, I feel like that's a pretty fair trade-off.
Yeah, you know, when you lay it all out like that, makes total sense.
Right? Honestly, I'm still a little confused why I wasn't called sooner. Seems like any plan not involving me is at best half-baked, and at worst, downright dumb, and would likely lead to unnecessary pain and sacrifices.
Yeah. Would have been dramatic, though.
Sure.
Oh, Captain Danvers, thank God you showed up. And just for the record, we definitely didn't not call you because we totally forgot you existed or anything. So...
Right. Well, I'm gonna go back to space now. Bye.
Okay, well, good war, everyone. Love the hustle. I guess Avengers disassemble. Okay. Who's up for shawarma? Tony's buying.
Can I get a ride?
Now, absolutely a far cry from what I normally put on here. But like I said, I use a plethora of different things. But when I had seen this, I was like, that makes a hell of a lot of sense. But yeah, it would shorten the movie drastically. And we wouldn't get the send-off of the two biggest protagonists of the franchise. But again, whatever happened to the Hulk swish? Because it didn't really seem that we got much of it coming into fruition. And all the murals that were painted everywhere, maybe just because it's in memoriam, you know, of Iron Man in different countries. And when, what was the second Spider-Man, Away from Home? Or Far From Home? You know, he's seeing all these murals, constantly reminded of, you know, Tony Stark. And I'm thinking to myself, like, where's the Hulk, though? Like, you know, that didn't get out? How do people even know? Well, obviously, because Tony Stark died, but no credit to the Hulk whatsoever? But yeah, when he gives the gauntlet to what's her name, Marvel, Captain Marvel, that makes a lot more sense. And me being, a movie guy, I never even noticed it until I seen this. And here I think like, shit, I'm reading scripts. I'm like really trying to get this in my head. Like, okay, I got like, how am I gonna do this? Like, this, this. I heard a great interview. David Harbour. You guys might know him as the character he played in what the hell's the movie called? Well, the Black Widow. I think self-entitled, right? Where he is the not the adopted father, but the pretend father. And then he's in the Russian prison. And he had told the director, he's like, this is stupid. He's like, why am I in a Russian prison speaking English in a Russian accent? I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. So you got a guy who's smart enough to recognize something like that. And here's my dumbass like reading a script like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go along with this without questioning anything. So when I found this, I was like, oh my God, I just have to share this. Because like I said, for one, it's quite different from anything else I post. So I don't know, for you guys who are Marvel fans, who may watch this page, who may not watch this page, who just may have stumbled across this and have seen this clip before, what'd you think? Because I was like, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. But with all the multiverse stuff now and everything, it would be no surprise if, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. come back at some point. Especially if what phase are they in? 4 or 5, whatever. Especially if it continues to not do as well as they hope. So, anyways, guys, this is just this one video that I wanted to kind of really go off the deep end on and see what you guys thought. So, until next time, I'll be right back. Peace.